as soon as you hear this chapter, right, you'll be like, yeah, I know this formula, speed is equal to distance by time. True enough, everybody knows this formula, right? So how are you unique, right? So it totally depends on how fast you can solve a particular question that's given in the examination hall. Alright, so how can you do it really fast? Well, good question. Looking at the videos, alright? So let's start with the basic, okay? The most common mistake that we do, right, is in the conversion part. Conversion of what? Converting, kilometer per hour to meter per second, or converting meter per second to kilometer per hour. All of us know that, okay, 18 kilometer per hour is equal to 5 meters per second. Okay, fine. But right at the examination hall, right, we'll be like, to convert kilometer per hour to meter per second, should I multiply by 5 by 18 or should I multiply by 18 by 5? And you know what? Correctly, we choose the wrong option. So let's not make that mistake ever again. Alright, so let's have an easy remembrance method. So in order to convert kilometer per hour to meter per second, you're always right, okay? So look at the right hand side. So what is this? Meter. Meter is less than kilometer. So the numerator must be less than the denominator. So multiply by 5 by 18. And similarly here, to convert meter per second to kilometer per hour, look at your right hand side. Kilometer. Kilometer is greater than meter. So your numerator must be greater than your denominator. Alright? So to convert meter per second to kilometer per hour, you're going to multiply by 18 by 5. And to convert kilometer per hour to meter per second, you're going to multiply by 5 by 18. So you're not going to make this mistake ever again. Okay? We're going to make conversions really quick and really, correctly. Alright? So this is the very first basic you have to do. And second of all is a constancies question. Fine. We'll talk about constancies, right? Speed is equal to distance by time. So what are the three constants that can be actually present is, the first case is that either speed can be constant. Alright? The second case is wherein the distance can be constant. And the third case is wherein the time can be a constant. So fine. If speed is constant, what happens? d1 by t1 is equal to d2 by t2 is equal to constant k. Similarly, if d is constant, you would be like s1 t1 is equal to s2 t2 is equal to constant k. And if time is constant, then d1 by s1 is equal to d2 by s2 is equal to constant k. You would be like, yeah, I know all of these. Fair enough. If you know all of these, let's try the next question all the way yourself, alright? And if you can solve it, please skip the rest of the video. If you can't solve it, fine. Let's try a few more questions before we, you start to excel in it, alright? So let's start with the question. So the first question, right? Let's look at the question. Two stations A and B are 280 kilometers apart. Alright? So at 11 a.m. they start to move towards each other. Running in opposite direction, they cross each other at 11:30 a.m. with a distance of 100 km from one of the stations. What is the ratio of their speeds? Alright? So first, if you see, right, as you read the question, try to get the question inside your brain. Alright, just try to figure out what I'll be drawing here, right? I want that to get into your mind as you read the question, so that when you try the calculation part, you're going to be more fast, right? So first, two stations A and B. So let this be station A, let this be station B. Are 280 kilometers apart. Alright, fine. So they are 280 kilometers apart. 280 kilometers. Fine. At 11 a.m., so let this be 11 a.m., they're going to start to move towards each other. So this train and this train are going to start to move towards each other, fine? Alright. Running in opposite directions, so this is going to come this way, this is going to come the other way. They cross each other at 11:30. Alright, so they're going to cross each other at 11:30 and they meet and then they go again, right? So with a distance of 100 km from one of the stations, they never mention what the station can be, so you can just consider any station. So suppose I'm considering this to be as 100 km. So obviously, what is this one? This is 100, this is going to be 180 kilometers. Alright? Yes. So what's the ratio of their speed? So the main key, right, to this question is that at 11 a.m. which simply tells the time here is a constant. So at 11 a.m. they start to move towards each other. So both of them are going to start at the same time, which simply means that time is constant. So if time is constant, then d1 by s1 is equal to d2 by s2. Alright, and one more important thing is that you have to know, you have to see the conversion part as well, whether you have to convert kilometer to meter, based on the options that's given. Alright, so here the time is constant, so d1 by s1 is equal to d2 by s2 is the formula. So d1 by s1 is equal to d2 by s2. So d1 by d2 is equal to s1 by s2. So what is d1 here? So suppose I consider this station A as 1 and station B as 2. So obviously this is 180 kilometer. 180 divided by 100 is equal to s1 by s2, which is nothing but 9 by 5. So therefore the ratio of the speed is nothing but 9 by 5. So the basic key is Lagrangian, which simply put, which tells us that the time is a constant. So that's how you're supposed to figure out a given question. You're supposed to just think practically and then proceed with this. So you're going to complete every question in a fraction of a minute. Alright? So let's look at the second question. So the second question, right? Let's see the question. Two friends are staying together. The distance between the place of stay and the school is 5 km. The ratio of the speed is known to be 5 by 3. Find the ratio of the time taken. So it's a pretty direct question here. So as you read the question, what can you see? What is constant here? The distance here is constant because the distance between the place of stay and school is 5 km. It's not going to vary at all. It's always 5 km only. Alright? So the distance between the place of stay and this is said to be 5 km from their home to school. Alright? And the ratio is given to be as ratio of speed. Ratio of speed is given to be, so suppose home is 1 and school is 2, the ratio of speed is given to be 5 by 3. For person, there are two persons, okay, two friends. Let's name one as A, the other one is going to be B. Both are going to start from home to school. Alright, both are going to start not together. It's never mentioned together. So they're going to start together at the same time. It implies time is constant. But here, it's not given when they are going to start. Alright? Oh, the only information that's given to you is that the distance is 5 km. And it's also known. You have some information about the speed. The speed is said to be 5 by 3. So basically, the ratio of the speed of A divided by speed of B is going to be what? Is given as 5 by 3. If distance is constant, then what do you know? S1 T1 is equal to S2 T2. So in this case, SA TA is equal to SB TB. Alright? So SA by SB is equal to TA TB by TA. Right? Yeah. So SA by SB is known to be 5 by 3 is equal to TB by TA. So you have to reciprocate it. Therefore, TA by TB will be equal to what? 3 by 5. Alright, so it's a pretty direct question. So you can find out what is going to be constant, right? So here the distance is constant, so automatically this is the formula I'm going to use. So this is the formula I'm going to use. S1 by S2 is already given. So you'll automatically get it. You know, by seeing the question, you can simply tell, okay, the option 3 by 5, the reciprocate of it is going to be the answer. You need not do these many of steps. Alright. So let's look at the next topic. Alright, I hope it's pretty much clear so far. Right?